Hello everybody and welcome back to another My Porch Prints tutorials. This is Kyra and today I am going to be showing you how to make a super fast, quick, simple one signature journal that has no sewing involved, and this is actually going to be a new method for binding a journal. I've never seen it before and I kind of came up with it on accident, but we'll go ahead and get into that a little bit later. To start, you are going to need a journal kit, a My Porch Prints journal kit, because they come with these large cards, and this is what we will be using for our cover, so make sure that you print it front and back with a decorative paper of your choice. I am using the new Purple Roses journal kit for this journal today, and I've gone ahead and printed off 10 pages front and back with blank and lined pages, as well as some decorative pages in here, trying to alternate them so that none of them were too similar front and back. And now I'm just going to trim off these white borders here, and when you're done you should have some pages that look just like this. And now we are going to fold these in half, so try to get them as even as possible and then just fold them in half like this. Go ahead and pick which paper you want to be the cover and put that on the top of your stack when you fold it. I like this image here, so I'm going to use this as my inside cover page. And they are just going to go inside of our cover card just like this. And I'm going to use a bulldog clip to help hold everything in place. And then taking a pencil, I will be tracing around the cover just like this. And then I'm going to use some scissors to cut that out. Now, this is sort of a thicker stack, so if you need to divide the stack into 2 or 3 and trace those and cut those out to make it a little easier, feel free to do that. It will work the exact same way. And then after cutting all of the pages out, you should have something that looks just like this. Now, because of how the pages are situated here, some of these images did get cut off a little bit, so you can try to find images that are a little more centered on the page if you want. It doesn't bother me too much. I still think it looks really pretty. And to help make it look a little more finalized, I'm going to take some distress ink in the color Vintage Photo and Dusty Concord. And I'm going to go over my cover with the Vintage Photo color, and I'm going to go over the pages with that purple Dusty Concord color. Now, this is entirely optional. You don't have to use it at all, or you can use the same color for the cover and the pages. It's up to you. I just thought this might be a little bit fun. And then to add a little bit more interest and depth to our pages here, I'm going to fold in some of these little paper lace doilies. So just placing them in the center of my pages and then folding them in half like they normally would be. And now you've got some little doilies sandwiched in here just like this. And you can use as many as you'd like. I'm just going to use 2 for now. And then again, doing something very similar, I'm going to take a sheet of coffee dyed paper to add a little bit of texture. So I'm just going to fold that in half the long way and then fold it in half again. And what I'm going to be doing here is tearing this up, just random tears, not thinking too much about it, to give me a little bit more writing space throughout my journal. So go ahead and just tear it up however you'd like, and then we're going to fold that into the pages the same way we did the lace doilies. And you don't have to just use this type of paper. You could use lined paper, you could use different ephemera pieces if you have sheets of music sheets or receipts or anything you want to add. Now is the time to do that, so just tuck it in between your pages just like this. And now we've got it just looking a little more layered and a little more interesting. So next up comes the binding portion. Now I'm going to be 100% transparent. I knew I wanted this to be a no-sew journal that was really quick and easy, so my original idea was to use staples. However, my stapler was a little too short and a little too weak, and all in all, it just wasn't working out. I tried it at first with a wooden board in the back, and unfortunately the staples went right through the wood, so that wasn't working. So I switched and tried a metal pan, and unfortunately that had too much give, so it wasn't going through all the way. And then I tried it with plastic in the back to try to give it to hold, and it seemed to be holding all right at first, but then I realized it just wasn't actually strong enough, and I knew I was going to need to come up with another idea. So here is what we are going to end up doing. So first off, go ahead and take your pages and tuck them into your cover, get them as straight as you can, and then using some bulldog clips, we're going to have those help keep everything in place because we don't want them sliding around on us while we are working. And then next you're going to need to put something behind your journal, most likely, if you don't want to accidentally stab through your table, because what we're doing is using a sharp object. I'm using an awl for mine to make 3 holes in our journal. So we're going to have one towards the bottom, just like this, going all the way through the cover and pages. And then we're going to put another one roughly in the center. You can measure if you want things to be perfectly even. I'm just going ahead and sort of eyeballing what I think looks right. And then we're going to add a 3rd hole at the top, just like this. And this is a very similar process to when you're sewing for a pamphlet stitch, but we are doing something different here, which is we are going to use brads to hold this in place. Now, I've never seen anyone else do this before, so I wasn't sure if it would work, but I kind of just thought I would give it a try. So what you're going to do is you're going to push the brad through the hole like this, with the flat head being on the outside cover of your spine. And then we're going to flatten these prongs, and it's really important to remember to make them vertical and not horizontal. And that's because if they are horizontal, you can't fold your pages in half without it like punching holes through your paper. So you'll want to make sure that those prongs are going vertically up and down your spine, just like this. And go ahead and do the same thing with the other 2 prongs. And when it's done, it should look something like this. And honestly, I was quite shocked at how simple this was, but effective. And I made sure to put it through its paces and make sure they were going to hold. And honestly, it's very solid and it worked really quick. It took me about 30 seconds to do. I was so surprised that I said, I can't believe that worked. So yeah, that just kind of goes to show you that, you know, if something's not working, don't give up. Keep trying, try new things, and who knows, maybe you'll discover something that works even better. So yeah, if you haven't tried using brads to hold your journal together, I really highly suggest it, especially if you're trying to make a really quick, simple journal like this. This is definitely the fastest I think I've ever made a journal. It was like under 30 minutes. So I also actually am really curious on how this would look on a larger journal. So I've decided to go ahead and do a full journal tutorial using brads to secure it. So keep an eye out for that in the future. But otherwise, that is going to conclude today's tutorial. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye!